Hello, everybody. Good evening. I'm just
Relationship as a shared meaning,
starting other channels.
meaning that how you see the relationship needs to at least come close to matching how the other person sees your relationship. In the past, I had a girlfriend and she was looking at super long term.
There you go. Everybody's on board now. Okay, the wisdom and all other channels, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, and all those things are on the restream. Um, yeah, welcome again, everybody. I was talking about children and education and life skills yesterday. Um, the title is not changed because it won't allow me to change now. But that's the topic I was talking about yesterday because this was kind of nice profession. I think I was training people who are adults and who are actively working and want to renew vigorous life from their burned out, stressed out stage, which was all very good service. I think they can go back to their life and enjoy that life and all that. That's pretty good. But then, why are we delaying this kind of know-how or kind of knowledge to the parents and the kids so that the kids have a taste of what they can develop in themselves to maintain that inner resilience and capacity to deal with not just anything, but the life situations and circumstances and whatever that throws at them. So I always liked the term prepare the kids for the universe, not just the university. We can do that university, but I feel like that has become so important that we are losing out on opportunities to inculcate good habits in kids, right? I was talking about two particular simple things. I was talking in a school. One was just to take a few minutes of time out, so once in a while during the day, and that I think the very small kids really responded to that, and then every day they were doing that like yeah guys, this is time for time out, let's play time out, that kind of thing. They were enamored, and they were sitting, and then it became a habit for them, and slowly they were able to ease into uh, more things like mindfulness, meditation, and all that. Okay. Other thing was just place your hand one on the um, chest, one on the abdomen, and see with your breathing which hands comes up first. If it's always usually the upper hand comes out and the lower hand later, right? That is the shallow breathing. But we want the hand on the abdomen raise and fall down, and then the chest will raise and fall down a little bit after that. So that kind of simple things, I think we should. And other thing, my favorite was just taking it to a bunch of trees or park or garden, whatever you have that is of nature, and then allow them to explore the nature in wonderment, in enthusiasm, and really a kind of curiosity, right? That kind of thing do wonders for that. But lately, what we are doing is we are kind of putting them with artificial videos and all that. Once in a while, they're okay, but it has become so much they are losing touch with the nature, right? It may sound very naive or very old-fashioned, but actually, that's one of the things about human being is being in touch with nature. Walk on the earth, sit on the earth, and climb the hills, or just interact with rain and snow and whatever season that offers. Those kind of things are very, very useful too. And also, it kind of makes you love the nature and want to protect the nature too. So these kind of life skills I was preparing videos for. They were being done, and they were kind of important for people to follow them. To understand, not that you have to follow them, just to understand them. So the theme is how can we really allow the humans from childhood to all the way to adulthood really open up their mind and see things for themselves, hear for themselves, and question for themselves, think for themselves, that kind of thing. I think that will go a long way. And that's why I was focusing on what are the plays we can do, what are the fun things we can do that can bring them closer to nature and also closer to themselves inside, and then develop these skills that will be useful in the life situations as they're encountering. I think that would do wonders to kids coming up. Rather than allowing them to be engulfed by the technology and lose these very valuable things, right? I was always about that because the technology itself is very good. It can take you to so many things, but then the virtual reality, all those things are coming up. Uh, they will probably create some things akin to something natural, but it is nothing like opening up to the nature and allowing it to come to you. So that's what I was talking about all the time. So you have to be closer to the nature. So I was preparing videos based on that. What kind of games you can play, what kind of mythical mysteries you can play, and then bring in the lessons of the ancients, like keep your mind calm, or breathe deep, or just take things easy, take them in a playful sense. All those things play a big role in developing the kids' resilience inside. That is the purpose, right? So, from training adults from burnout and stress, I thought we should introduce some amount of it into our schooling rather than just focusing on getting a degree and then going and working like a cog in the wheel. That's okay, but then why do you have to lose touch with your nature? See, that's what I was focusing on. Um, I hope that makes sense for people. So whoever on the wisdom map, if they want to come up, you are more than welcome. Uh, Otherwise, these are the series of talks I'm going to do as we march into this month about what are the areas we are talking about. Yesterday, I mentioned about meditation and yoga, subconscious mind and psychology, positive psychology, and sciences like on energy, like your feng shui, vastu, or pranic energy, or acupuncture, all those things, and communication and public speaking. Then you can become very articulate and then really be uh, happy to talk about anything, right? So that kind of thing. So all those skills are really neglected because we are in a rush. We are always going for the core curriculum, and then we say we have to excel on the language, science, and mathematics. Yeah, why can't we incorporate these life skills also in those classes? We can easily do that, provided we are aware of it, we are really taking interest in those things. Okay, that's how I feel about these life skills that are transferred from the teachers to the kids, parents to the kids. It's not like in the curriculum, but outside the curriculum, if you teach them about musical arts, that everybody accepts. What about this kind of movement sports, or movement like a yoga, Pilates, or Qigong, the Korean martial arts. So many martial arts are there, right? Why are we not allowing them to experiment with them? That's kind of thing. My kids went for taekwondo for a number of years. I think that was good for them in the early age, you know. But I would have preferred them to be on yoga, you know, whether they took to the taekwondo and practiced with the kids and all that. So especially my son, he loved it, and then he kind of enjoyed it as long as he did that, right? So that was there all the time. How about this positive psychology? What it means is that we can bring up the positives within us as a shield for our life's situations. For example, you are really having a confidence crisis, right? And then you can attempt to do some things, and then by attempting it, you will gain some traction and you will achieve some of it. And then because you achieved successfully, you will be confident. That's the theory behind it, you know. But the positive psychology also helps you to realize the all the gratefulness, kindness, compassion, our ability to be patient, kind, smile, and laugh. All those things are very positive about a human being, and we should be asserting them and executing them in real life. That is positive psychology they were talking about. You know, how about subconscious mind? Oh, is there something like that? What happens to the conscious mind? What happens to subconscious mind? How does the subconscious mind influence us down the line? How we can lose our bearing if the subconscious is overloaded? So there's a lot of people have this information overload, brain fog, because they don't know how to clean their mind. Right? That's a skill that we should teach kids to. So these kind of soft skills that are going to be life skills that are going to be very useful for them down the line. You know? I am very convinced because if you are turning inward and find out your true nature, your mind will be very peaceful and doesn't have this movement which creates all these stress hormones, right? And they are not good for your body or your mind or your psyche or your society or anybody connected with you, right? So that's why we always talk about life skills that you can nurture within you, right? Once you have that, then you can be healthy and wealthy for a long time, you know. So I was always promoting that, you know. Lately the connection is this: if you are a person who is not you know impulsive, and then are able to turn inside and look at your own thoughts and emotions, and then assess them and reflect on them and learn something about yourself, and eventually you will see all the thoughts are coming down and you are established in your own awareness. Then you will see your mind is not moving, thereby your stress hormones are less and you are much more healthy. And because you're happy inside, you become a very prudent consumer, or you don't want to excessively consume things even though you don't need them. It's like a mindless consumption, right? That goes on all the time. So you will be wise enough to be away from that rampant consumption. Thereby you can help the carbon footprint that you're going to leave on the world, right? So live as much as possible with the fewest resources that you can take from the earth. You know, the simple life always does that, right? You don't have to renounce things, but you can use only what you need, and rest of them keep away from it. Don't waste things and all that, right? That kind of thing is also helps a lot. So this connection I made: wellness is from the knowing yourself, and then that results in really silent mind, and that is less stress hormones. And because you are happy inside, you don't go for things that may not make you happy outwardly that much, at least as you wise up, right? Then you will be a responsible citizen about not leaving a large carbon print on the life, right? So that's very, very important. I think this three connection is very evident to me. And then it's very blissful, happy to be alone, to be with yourself, right? But then the mind is not moving anywhere and you are immersed in this blissful silence, right? then you don't have to go out and spend gas to go somewhere to be happy, or you don't have to spend money going and buy all the artificial things to make you entertained, those kind of things. So thereby you will be using less of your resources, and then you may preserve them and you may give them to other people. So these two things I'm going to focus on in the next few weeks. One is we should start kids on these life skills as soon as possible. And also, we should realize this ancient way of looking inside and finding out our true nature is not only healthy, wealthy for the individual, but also it is healthy and wealthy for the planet. Okay, or whatever small way we can do it, but still that philosophy is applied, then you generate less waste, and then you kind of use less of all the resources, and which is good for in the long run. Suppose you kind of take that habit and then implement them in your household, and at least a few people may be influenced by it, and then they take it and somebody else take it. That is how individual pattern. So that's what I was focusing on. So don't wait for the burnout to have symptoms. Be proactive wellness wise. So understand, because we already have the knowledge why people work and also they burn out, why people don't work and burn out. What is the mind that is doing that? Understand it and then grow into it, and then you'll be able to resolve that. Okay. And also don't delay this for the kids. The kids should be learning that. And as you focus on these two type of perspectives, like a individual self-realization, less consumption, better for the planet, that's one. Second thing is start on this proactive wellness and the principles of proactive wellness, like a good eating, moving your body, taking deep sleeps, and also deep breath, and then calm your mind. These kind of pillars of wellness, if you follow them and deliberately make sure your family, your friends, everybody that you know are really aware of these things. At least they don't have to follow, but they may be influenced when they see that you are not sick, you are kind of joyfully living, and you don't have any problems with that. Seeing your lifestyle and how you are doing, people may be interested in that. So that is what I wanted to tell you about. Okay. So those two perspectives, I want to take it more like a important uh, lines of thinking, or um maybe ideas for the discussion of our strife as a human being, our stress and burnout, our lack of awareness of what's going on with the planet, or lack of awareness of our own habits, which is killing us, and our lack of awareness of these marketers, other consumers, putting a pressure on us and really making us miss out on that inner bliss, right? So that kind of thing. So then you can live here, you can enjoy some things, but you are not going to be addictive to them. And also you'll be thinking about whether it is good for the planet, good for other people or not. So that kind of slow reflection of things helps you to change yourself from within. So that inward change, inward mastery, that's what I was always talking about, which was very much evident in the ancient life, because they don't have all this technology and everything, right? But then generally also they were like that. That was considered a virtue to be like that, to be simple outward, to think deeply, and to really think about the world's problems or existential problems was very much appreciated at the time. But lately, people don't think that's very fashionable, or they think that's something worthwhile to do. But I consider it is as a responsibility of us to be responsible to the planet, to other fellow human beings, and especially the children. We have a responsibility to protect them, right? The only thing is we are not aware of it, we don't pay attention to it, and it goes all the time. But suppose you are aware of it, the planet is getting plumbered by all this rampant consumption, you will automatically look at it and then reduce your consumption at least a little bit, and that way you can contribute to the lack of carbon imprint on the earth. Okay, that's my personal thing, and I always feel that is a very good way to live. And actually, it's joyful to live like that. It is blissful. It is serene to live like that. Whether you are alone or with the people who think on those lines. So you don't have to pick a quarrel with the people who are not agreeing with it, but you can make them see the other way. Look at the division, look at the wars, look at the so much of pathology in people's lives, like addictions or diseases, chronic conditions that don't have good outcomes. All those things, once you are aware of it, you will act much more smartly than going that way. Okay, it's a question of being aware of all these problems and their solutions. In that way, if you look at the ancient wisdom, they have a lot of solutions for the modern problems that we are seeing. They didn't have stress, they didn't have burnout. They kind of lived together. The interconnectedness was there, and very good relationship with the nature, and that's why nature they try to really protect it. So remember these things, and then consider taking a list of all of the habits you have. What are things you do, and then you can change them once you know that you are like this, right? So then you will be able to really change them because you are aware of them. Okay? People do bring that kind of awareness to everything that is going on in their life and are able to look at that, right? So uh, hopefully that makes some sense for at least somebody here or who are going to listen to the replay, if at all they listen. So that's fine too. Uh, so opening up the mind, thinking on these things sincerely, even though they don't have immediate personal gain, that would be the needed thing in this hour of planet destruction and all that. Okay, so my thing is, you can be well, you can be joyful, you can be peaceful by exploring your inner self and understanding your own true nature, and thereby you're also contributing to the planet health. So I'm very excited about this connection. This was there, and so many people followed it. But in the light of our planet condition, our mental condition on the earth, and our divisive nature of so many things, and also our emphasis on superficiality, all these things will be really responsible for our own difficult problems, right? And that's why once you understand that, and once you are aware of that, and things may change for you from inside out. Okay, so always turn inward, find who you are, and from that keep your mind silent, and also be happy with what you have. Thereby you leave less of a carbon print outside. Okay, I'm going to develop on these themes and much more as people get to hear this more often. Probably we will be able to attract some people that are interested in this and that can talk to me, and then we can have a good discussion for other people too. You know, most of the time people are not interested in any of this because they don't have the time, or they never heard about this, or they may look at all the outward environmental crisis that is going on, but they think they are not responsible and somebody else is doing. But if you are using gasoline, or if you are not walking, and if you are not spending enough time for your own inner reflection, then without you knowing, you are contributing to the problem, right? So that's something to munch about and think about and reflect on. Okay. So that's what I wanted to say for today. And I'm doing this half an hour talks because lack of time in the evening, but also unless people are discussing, I don't want to go on giving a lecture, right? So I would welcome dialogue. I would welcome people to come and question. That will be good for them. Okay. All right, so I will be seeing you again in tomorrow evening again, and hopefully you have a good day and reflect on this, and then we will talk about it later. Thank you.